Go.
Jake here. Today I will be recapping what I got out of the trip and what I learned. So one of the biggest, if not the most important things that I believe that I learned would be the ability to read a geological map, specifically a stratigraphic map that tells the different time periods as we travel around the Black Hills. For example, as we drive out of here to the left towards Wyoming, we actually cross from the Pennsylvanian, where we currently are, sitting atop Pahasapa limestone. We actually travel into the Jurassic, then the Jurassic, and then the Cretaceous. There are very subtle yet noticeable transitions that occur when you cross over into each specific time period. And for paleontology, it is very important to be able to classify what time zone you're in so you can find the specific fossils and bones that you were looking for. On the other hand, as we go technically down in time but up in the mountains, to the right of where our cabin is, we travel from the Pennsylvanian into the Mississippian and then eventually into Precambrian metamorphic and igneous rock. That is just a very, very unique area because technically it is a magmatic batholith that has just been risen up, exposing the Precambrian and the Cambrian rock, while the rest of the rock is just weathered away, and it makes what it surrounds the Black Hills, specifically those Cretaceous, Jurassic, and Jurassic areas that I mentioned. The second thing that I could take away from this trip would be all the connections that the group made while we were up here. We got to talk to a lot of people, ranging from anywhere to actually schools, to geologists, to freelance miners that are up here staking claims at abandoned mines to make a living. One of the contacts that we made was the South Dakota School of Mines. Myself and a couple of the other students went on a small self-guided tour. We got to talk to some people about the campus. We got in contact with a couple of the professors. I made some calls, and I'm very interested in the school for maybe a possible graduate program down the road. It had a fantastic campus, and just being able to kind of have that information and kind of put myself in the doorstep helps chances when it does come down to the time to apply for graduate schools. They might actually remember me, and I might have a larger chance of getting accepted into that school, which is very helpful, especially with the competitiveness of today's college societies. After that, some of the miners we met, a man named Cody, actually gave us a lot of insight into what his job does. He does a lot of freelance mining. He makes stakes, and he owns a bunch of different mines and territories around the South Dakota Black Hills area. He actually gave me a lot of information, a lot of samples of tantalum and columbite, and he told us how to classify tantalum without using an XRF, of course, because that's kind of cheating, but in the field, if you don't have that sort of tool, how you can classify tantalum versus what you say, just an iron-rich rock. Tantalum and columbite actually have a blue sheen or a tint to them when they shimmer in the sunlight. So being able to pick that out between all the iron-rich rocks and things like that helps out when you're looking for that specific sample. And that will kind of leeway into the third thing. And the last thing that I can take away from this trip would be the potential for possible and future research projects based upon this area. This area is a very, very rich area when it comes to geology. The information that is available in the Black Hills is tremendous. That goes for mineralogists, that goes for paleontologists. There's just so much geology occurring here that there could be millions and millions and millions of projects that take place here just because of all the things that can be done. I myself took an interest in the tantalum and columbite samples from Cody and a couple of the mine shops and their composition. I possibly want to use tools and different analysis to actually dig deeper into those minerals and rocks and find more questions that can be answered in research projects. I think that is a very, very cool thing to do. And I love just answering questions and actually making questions. And as I continue to research these samples, I want to continue to make more questions in my head and then answer those questions when the time comes. But overall, just to guess recap it all would be how this trip is going to help me in my geological career. It is going to give me a huge step forward when it comes to classroom settings and when it comes to economic settings. So when I start looking for jobs, when I start looking for more graduate schools, things like that, I'm going to have information and I'm going to have the things that have been shown to me, not just because it's in a textbook, but I actually got up to walk out and touch some of these geological phenomenons, and I'm going to be able to recap to where I am now and think, I've done this before, and I have seen it, not because it's in a textbook, but because I actually witnessed it in person. It doesn't sound important now, but being able to sit into a classroom and know what the professor is talking about when he's talking about it is going to be very, very helpful. And I am very thankful that I got to go on this trip because of all those reasons. And I just, if offered again, I would love to go. It has been a blast just learning and bonding with the group and doing everything geology. It's just been a great time. But thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you later.